Good evening, Namaste, and Aiboan. I'm Srikanth. I'm Head of Operations at AyurUniverse, India's largest wellness portal offering preventive wellness, ailment management, online and signature programs in yoga, Ayurveda, and naturopathy for global customers since 2016. We currently host more than 300 wellness centers in India and abroad, with a large presence in India, Sri Lanka, and Nepal. We are planning a global presence in the coming years. Customers from more than 65 countries have booked their wellness programs through our portal. We are approved by Department of Tourism Karnataka, Incredible India, and a member of Global Wellness Institute, California. Today, we are bringing a webinar for you in collaboration with Santani Wellness Retreat, the topic being human sustainability through Ayurveda and Yoga. Santani in Sanskrit means in harmony with. Santani strongly believes that sustainable wellness begins by bringing oneself into balance with nature. It's a wellness retreat situated 2,800 feet above sea level amidst a former tea plantation of 48 acres. The first and only purpose-built wellness resort offering luxury escapes in Sri Lanka. It's designed according to the highest sustainability and eco standards. They have 16 mountain view and 4 garden view chalets provide natural ventilation free of air conditioners. They offer a relaxed philosophy and a personalized approach to rebalancing. Wellness programs are offered combining Ayurveda and yoga to detox, rejuvenate, and heal oneself. In essence, Santani is about seeking and finding inspiration, knowledge, and encouragement to balance external demands with inner fulfillment. Now, the awards that Santani Wellness has received so far, they have received the Best Spa Award under the title of Zen Masters by Tatler, Best New Hotels in the World, Condé Nast, one of the best 100 places to visit in 2018 by Times, Best Spas in the World by Vogue, Most Unusual Hotels in the World by Forbes. Today, we have 3 eminent speakers amongst us. I'll introduce them before we'll get into the show. We have Salia Amaratunga, Head of Wellness at Santani. He's got 20 years of experience in the hospitality industry in sales and marketing, ranging from 5-star hotels, Relay and Shatayu properties, and luxury boutique resorts. He has been in long association of body movement in the ancient martial arts of Wushu, has immersed himself in Buddhist meditation practices, Reiki and yoga, is a level 2 Reiki practitioner and a Yoga Alliance certified trainer, living a fuller life each day on spirituality and healing for all is his inspiration. Welcome, Salia. Dr. Niluka Dilrukshi Pereira, she is the resident Ayurveda doctor at Santani. She holds a degree of Bachelor of Ayurvedic Medicine and Surgery from University of Kelaniya, Sri Lanka. She's keen to pursue Masters in Hospital Management from University of Sabaragamuwa in Sri Lanka, has successfully completed the certificate course in Ayurveda and Panchakarma, Marma, and its applications. She has developed the skills in minor surgery procedures for ulcers, varicose veins, hemorrhoids, fistula conditions, and acupuncture. Welcome, Dr. Dilrukshi. And we have Ashok Monamkav, the yoga teacher. He holds a master's in communication and art, has several years of experience in the corporate world, dared to take the path less traveled to immerse himself into his inner calling, yoga, has been trained at the well-known yogic lineage Bihar School of Yoga, has been a yoga practitioner for 25 plus years, 12 plus years of teaching experience to a wide spectrum of yoga enthusiasts in Europe, South America, and India, currently leads and practices various yoga forms. The most important thing that I want to reveal about Ashok is he is from God's own country, Kerala, and he comes from Palakkad. Okay,
thank you very much.
Welcome, Ashok. And with that introduction, let me invite Salia to respond to my first question. Salia, can you let us know what is human sustainability?
According to First of all, thank you for giving us this opportunity to
share our ideas on human sustainability. Thank you and your team. Well, if you take the three main pillars of sustainability, environmental sustainability is the key approach. So the human sustainability is fallen under environmental sustainability because it's part of the ecosystem. Like any other species, the humans are also a part of the ecosystem. The only difference is normally the other species are helping the ecosystem, where the humans are distracting it. So nowadays we talk about the issues with ozone layer, and we talk about water pollution, deforestation, then climate change, and but we hardly talk about the sustainability of humans as human race, right? And we have the modern technology, and we have ballistic missiles, and we send satellites to Mars. And while we are trying to communicate with the other side of the Milky Way, we have 460 million of world population having diabetes, and 18 million are having cancers. Approximately 18 million are having cardiovascular diseases. And what's scary is like every one person out of four are having some sort of mental or neurological disorders. So in that way, it's a question whether we are really sustained as humans. So think about the environmental sustainability or economy or the society. First of all, we have to sustain ourselves as humans. So even though I think the humans are like overconfident about their sustainability, but this recent corona pandemic showed us how vulnerable we are in both physical and mental space. So if you take like the evolution of the humans, if you take the recent past, we have like past like two main eras, which is industrial revolution and later on information revolution. So during the industrial revolution, after the invention of the steam generator or steam engine, the world start, moving fast, right? Then when we come to the era of the computers and digital world, and it moved faster. So what happens is like during this process, I would say it's part of the evolution process. I would say like last latter part of this, and the world start changing drastically. So everyone is trying to like adapt to that change in their own way. So they are struggling way to bridge that gap. So when we talk about evolution, we talk about the survival of the fittest. But with the modern world, when it comes to humans, it's not only the physical fitness, and it's also about your mental well-being and your emotions. So if you take like what has happened in the past few decades, and the activities of the body movements or the activities of the humans has become very low, right? And originally our bodies are designed to go on hunting and hunt saber-tooth tigers, and you used to walk like 10-15 miles per day. But nowadays you hardly walk like 10,000 steps. But in the mental space, it's drastically changed with this digital era. So in mental space, you are really busy, and your mind is jumping from one to another, right? So with this, and we'll have to think twice whether we are really sustainable. And with those innovations and the modern technology, have we achieved the healthy life that we were wishing for? Or have we achieved the happiness that we were looking for? After working like, say, 8 to 14 hours per day, to have a good night's sleep, still you have to take pills. So, and these lifestyle changes, sometimes it's unbearable, and people are trying to, bridge the gap, and they are trying to struggle to change themselves according to the rate that world changes. And that's where the struggle and that's where the issues comes. So on these points, I think we are not yet sustained. And so our effort at Santani is helping people to be sustained and get their natural rhythm and to reach their desired health condition and have a mental peace of mind. So that is our job at Santani.
Yeah, Sali, thanks for that response. So I captured a lot of notes. What you said is that there are primarily four pillars of sustainability. You spoke about economy, environment, society, and human. You felt that as human, we are not doing enough to sustain ourselves. For me, it was a surprise when you said that there are about 450 million people with diabetes, and one out of four among us are having some kind of a mental or neurological disorder. That was a little little shock for me. And you also said that we were actually born to hunt and gather. Unfortunately, we don't do that. So we used to walk about, our ancestors used to walk about 10-15 miles a day. Now we are like, if we can walk 10,000 steps, like we have like arrived types. um, you also spoke about the survival of the fittest, physical, mental, and emotional. And one good point that you brought is that to get good night's sleep, we have to take pills. I mean, that is pretty shocking. Okay, now that you have explained the topic in detail, can you please let us know how we can manage the aging process um, according to what you do, what you know in Santani?
Right. Srikant, actually, we can manage the aging process, and even though we don't have the full control over it, we can't stop it, but we
Okay.
can manage it a positive way.
Okay.
So, like any other engines or machines, our body also work in the same manner to a universal principle. And what happens is like any other engine, like if you take your vehicle, you periodically you service it for the longevity and the functionality of the vehicle. The same way you have to look after your body. So nowadays we talk about cleansing of your body, of the body, and our focus is mainly of the toxins that you take out from outside of your body, like the polluted air, polluted water, then food with chemicals. But apart from that, toxins are generated in your body, in your cell level, as a byproduct of the energy generation. Like in a vehicle, you get the exhaust, and you pump fuel and it ignite, and then there's exhaust as the byproduct of the energy production. So the same way in our human body also we have byproducts that are generated during the process of energy production. And also in the system, there are like certain, in your body, there are like certain system like respiratory system, digestive system, urinary system. There are certain systems to eliminate those toxins. So what happens is with the aging process, the efficiency of those systems that used to eliminate the toxins from the body cannot be maintained at the same level of efficiency. So in a certain level, when you hit the age of like maybe 30, 35 and beyond, and when the efficiency of those systems goes low, what happens is the energy is generated at the same level and the toxin is generated at the same rate, but eliminating that is not happening in the same rate. So what happens is then the toxin starts accumulated in the body. So that's the main cause, and that's where we can look into and improve the elimination or by cleansing your body periodically, and through that process you can have a better and healthy life. So we use yoga and Ayurveda in that process at Santani, because Ayurveda and yoga are like sister science and they go hands in hand. So we have our two experts, Dr. Niluka and our yoga teacher, Ashok, who will explain you them in
Okay,
detail.
thank you. Thank you, Salia. So, I mean, you gave a nice example. So you service your vehicle very often to keep that in shape, and you have to do a very similar thing for the body as well. That's a very nice one. You also said that toxins are coming from outside, air, water, and food. Also, when there's energy created in the body, there are byproducts. After 35 years, the toxins are getting produced faster, but it is getting flushed out slowly compared to your previous years. And that is where you need to pay attention to get these toxins flushed out of the body. Okay, so we have the two experts. So I'm going to invite the two experts now. Dr. Niluka, can you please explain um, briefly what Ayurveda is and then its relationship to human sustainability?
Okay, hi everyone. I'm Dr. Niluka from Santani. And thank you very much for inviting me for this event as well. And actually, Ayurveda is a medical system which has originated over 5,000 years ago in India. Actually, it's not only a medical system, it's a lifestyle, it's a philosophy. The concept of the Ayurveda is simple and natural yet highly effective. Actually, it's the science of life. The name of Ayurveda, the meaning of the name of the Ayurveda is science of life, because Ayur means life, Veda means science. So there are two main purposes in Ayurveda: maintain the healthiness of the healthy person, the wellness aspect of the Ayurveda. Actually, that's what we are doing at Santani. And then cure the diseases, that is the therapeutic aspect of the Ayurveda. When we talk about the foundation of the Ayurveda, uh, foundation of the Ayurveda is the Tridosha. Actually, there are three fundamental energies or principles that governs our body both physiologically and psychologically, namely Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. So this is a bit comprehensive theory, but simply we can say Vata is the principle of movements, that each and every movement in our body governs by the Vata. That footballers through the gastrointestinal tract, respiratory flow, nerve impulses, pulsation of the heart, muscle contraction, cell mobility, each and every movement governs by the Vata. And simply we can say Pitta is the principle of the metabolism. All the chemical reactions in our body governs by the Pitta. And then Kapha is the principle of the structure, that physical volume and lot of liquids in our body. Immune system is governed by the Kapha. So everybody has made up from these three humors, but in different quantities. It means everybody has vata, everybody has pitta, and everybody has kapha, but in different quantities. That combination is different to person. This makes each and everyone unique. That's what we are calling constitution or body type or the prakriti. Actually, constitution is the thing that determines the psychosomatic characteristics of the people, both physical and psychological characteristics of the people. That is the uniqueness of Ayurveda actually. So I think you have you will be able to get a brief idea about the Ayurveda. So when we are talking about the sustainability and the Ayurveda, actually sustainability is at the core of this science. It's like a sustainable complex of living and life. Life means sustainability within the organism, and life means sustainability within the society or the world. Actually, when we look at the modern society, we can see there are a lot of barriers in the way towards the sustainability. A lot of metabolic disorders, immune disorders, and digestive problems, communicable diseases like coronavirus and environmental pollution. So Ayurveda has given clear guidelines to enhance your metabolism. So maintain the proper digestion, how to enhance your immunity, and how to maintain your personal hygiene, and also that Ayurvedic lifestyle is environmental friendly, and it helps to preserve the environment as well. So I think it is very essential, it is very important to go back to this ancient science again. So
Okay. So,
yes, Mr. Srikanth.
yeah, so good. I just, yeah, I know that it's 5,000 plus years of medical system. It's about the lifestyle and science of life. And you also said that Ayurveda is just not a medical system just to maintain. It's also about curing diseases. You spoke about three doshas, Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. And you also said that Ayurveda, in the core of sustainability is in Ayurveda, enhancing one's metabolism, improving immunity, and also personal hygiene. Um, Ashok ji, you've been quiet, so I'm going to pull you into this conversation.
Sorry, it's nice to watch people talk. Thank you.
Unfortunately, most of the people look at yoga as a form of physical exercise. Can you please enlighten us with what yoga really means?
Thank you very much. I'm quite delighted to be here to share my experience on yoga and the yoga lifestyle. So just to give a tiny wrap on this whole thing, I would say it's like, I mean, yoga means generally doesn't have to be basically doesn't have to be only be exercise, or it doesn't have to be only one aspect of life. Basically, pretty much yoga means oneness. Yuj is coming all from Sanskrit, yuj, oneness, or to be a bit more easier to understand, I would say yoking, egg yolk, the yolk, the oneness is all right there. So, like honestly, when I hear the exercise aspect of it, it's great. I mean, it's nothing wrong in just seeing only the exercise aspect of it, because with the sedentary lifestyle we have, with corporate life and sitting in chair and table and computer life and constantly sitting and spending time in front of a screen, we do need to move. So that's a pretty much a basic fact of our lifestyle. So it's nothing wrong in seeing that only as an exercise. But at the same time, body cannot survive only with the body aspect. Sometimes we do need to look into the mind space. So that happens, like mind dimension comes in, body dimension comes in, breath dimension comes in, and there is a dimension which comes in which doesn't even fit into all of this dimension, which is a dimensionless space. So more in a larger space, which we normally call it as, like, you can call it as awareness, you can call it as consciousness, you can call it as Brahman, you can call it as emptiness, depending on which background you're coming from. So basically, it is quite a large space to be put into. It's a huge life. I mean, I would say it's a way of lifestyle. It's not even, sometimes it's not even, it cannot be even concised and put into words saying, I am practicing yoga. It feels like I am cutting my nail. It's just a small process. So you only live through yoga. That's how I see it. So yeah, that's how I would say what is yoga and how to put it in a
All right.
concise way. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, good. It's good information. I'm sure the viewers have got some new insight about yoga is coming from the word yuj, which is a Sanskrit word. And you mentioned about the core, right? The egg yolk, you look at it like that.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
beyond your body, mind, breath, and it goes into the space. You talk about awareness, consciousness,
Yeah.
Brahman. And you also said it's not about just practicing yoga, you're just living a life
Yeah.
of yoga. Okay, I'll,
Yeah.
I'll come back to you in a little while
Sure.
as to
Sure.
how to connect this to human sustainability. I'll just go back to Dr. Niluka. So, Dr. Niluka, you mentioned that Ayurveda has been there for more than 5,000 years. However, extremely limited number of people have knowledge of this science. Can you tell us what Ayurveda has to offer beyond the herbs and medicines, especially talk about the Panchakarma programs being offered at Santani?
Okay. Actually, there is a famous Ayurvedic saying, with proper lifestyle and diet, there's no need for medicine. And without proper lifestyle and diet, there's no use of medicine. So Ayurveda teaches everything. That it teaches not only what to eat, but also how to eat, when to eat, how to maintain our digestive power. Actually, digestion is essential for overall health according to Ayurveda. Indigestion is a root cause of all kind of diseases according to Ayurveda. And not only that, Ayurveda clearly describes uh, healthy daily routines, healthy seasonal routines, and how to maintain the personal hygiene, how to sleep properly, how to avoid the sleeping disturbances and insomnia kind issues. And most importantly, Ayurveda teaches about the detoxification as well. Because as Mr. Salia said before, there are a lot of toxins in our body. Even with the metabolism, metabolic byproducts are occurring in our body. When there is no proper digestion, undigested food are remaining in our body. So body's excretory system removing these toxins, but with the aging, because day by day we are getting old now. So with the aging process, that we can see our aging process by looking at our outer appearance, but same thing is happening inside the body, we can't see that. So with this aging process, and not only that, with some diseases, with some psychological factors, with some genetic or environmental factors, these toxins not removing from the body properly. So these toxins get lodged and obstructed at the body channels. So this is a disease process. So this is the pathogenesis. So Ayurveda has the method of purifying the body by eliminating these toxins properly. So it's a natural method. Through Ayurveda, what we are doing is we just stimulate the body's natural processes to eliminate these toxins. So there are 5 purification methods, namely Vamana, Virechana, Nasya, Raktamoksha, and Vasti. These are the Panchakarmas. So 5 purification methods. Vamana means vomiting. Through the vomiting, we eliminate the toxins. And secondly, the virechana. Virechana means purgation or stool passing. Actually, it's not only a stool passing, not just a stool passing. Through the Ayurvedic purgation, whole gastrointestinal tract and associated gland like pancreas, gallbladder, liver, and blood also purified by the Ayurvedic purgation. So at Santani, we are doing the purgations. And thirdly, Nasir. Instill oils through the nostrils. They goes up to the sinuses level because nose is the gateway for the head. So eliminate the toxins again via mouth. That is the Nasir treatment. We are doing Nasir treatment at Santani as well. And then enema, vastio enema. Finally, bloodletting therapy. So out of these 5 panchakarmas, we are doing 3 of them here with my guidance, purgation, enema, and nasi treatments. Usually, before the panchakarma treatment, there is the pre-operative procedure as well. We have to lubricate the toxic deposit and have to take them to the outer channels. So we are doing Snehan and Swedan. Snehan means olation and Swedan means sedation. So Snehan we are doing internally and externally as well. So internal elation by ghee treatment, ghee therapy. Uh, so this ghee lubricates the gastrointestinal tract, and it also going to the cell level, and it helps to eliminate the fat soluble toxins from the body. And secondly, that external elation we are doing by the spa treatments, oil treatments, and sedation we are doing by certain treatments at the spa. And I arrange some excursions for our clients, and there is a thermal salt water pools, steam and sauna here. Using these facilities, we are doing a Sedana as well. And I also preparing a personal meal plans for them. And that is how we doing the detoxification treatments at the Santani.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Nilika. So, I mean, you said that Ayurveda prescribes how to eat, what to eat, when to eat. And you also mentioned about indigestion is the root cause for all diseases. Yeah. And you connected back to what Sally has said about, removing the toxins from the body through your aging process. Interestingly, you said something very nice. You said external aging you can see it when you stand in the mirror on front of me in front of the mirror. So what is happening internally you don't know, so you need to get a specialist to look at you and tell, hey, this is what is wrong with you. You spoke about the 5 panchakarmas, and interestingly, in Sinhalese also for vomiting we say vamana, isn't it?
Yes.
Right. So Nasya, so out of the 5 panchakarmas, you just do about 3 in Santani. Okay, so that you said Virechana, Vasti, and Nasya. Okay, so I'm going to invite Ashok ji back into the conversation. Ashok, you mentioned about 3 dimensions of the physical, mental, and emotional aspect. I'm also going to ask you.
Yeah.
It is believed that yoga helps a person to improve on 4 dimensions: physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual dimension as well. How can you explain this concept to a lay person?
Keeping it quite simple, not going quite philosophical or sounding technical. Yeah. So I would say, as a human being, I'm not even going into yoga right now. I'm just saying, as a human being, we do have a physical aspect, which is the body. We do have a mental aspect, which is the mind. And if there's a mind, there is an emotional bit to it that is attached. And it is like by default, the emotions are attached to the mind. And sometimes what we kind of miss out in this largeness of our life, I mean, my body life, me, is something called as the spiritual aspect of our life. I mean, sometimes, I mean, we do are quite close to our body constantly, because the minute we are born, we know this is my body, and this is my life, and everything is revolving around the mind and the body and the mind space, because mind and body, society, this is what's happening around us. It's all interlinked. And when that happens, it's quite obvious. If mind will react, there will be emotions to it, the way how we grew up and what's the circumstances. So to link all of this, we do, to put spirituality into a bit more shorter word. Sometimes spirituality is too much heavy. It's like a huge sandbag on someone's shoulder. So let's just keeping it way more easier. Every living being, there's a spirit within oneself. And touching into that living spirit is spirituality. That's how I would say it. So sometimes we are total in disconnect with that spirit. We know the body spirit, we know the mind spirit, we know the emotional spirit. So we might lose that deep inner spirit, which this is what pretty much we do in yoga. Yoga is not only posture, because yoga and meditation comes together. And even in yoga, it's a larger spectrum. It's not just a small one. It's like there's jnana yoga, which is of knowledge. There's raja yoga, which is of meditation, and hatha yoga comes into it. There is bhakti yoga, which is devotion, and like you're devoting yourself to the higher spirit. And then you have karma yoga, which is like work as yoga. So this all comes together, and that's why going back into that first thing, yoga means union, oneness. So the whole oneness comes in there. And when I hear um, the words like, just to say human sustainability, the topic of this talk, it's like sometimes breaking that word sustain is to stand up. Sustain is to live, abide, taking care. So when you start to take care of yourself, sustainability starts to happen on its own, because it just happens. You don't even have to try and make it happen. So it just starts to happen, and spiritual touch will make us see that happening. Yeah, that's how. Maybe this is how I could simplify it.
All right, good. So maybe maybe when we have some time, I'll just pull you into some exercise that we can do. So I just want to summarize. You beautifully put it, right? So you said the physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual aspect of a human being. You spoke about the mind-body connection. Also, you said like talking about spirituality is like actually carrying a huge sandbag. That's a nice metaphor. And what you said about every human being has got a spirit. Touching into the spirit of oneself is spirituality, and it's very nicely put. Also, you spoke about different types of yoga, and sustaining is about standing out, taking care of oneself. Fantastic. I'm going to now call Niluka and just put her into a little bit of a spot. Dr. Niluka, tell me, how does Ayurveda approach to human sustainability compared to any other system? Why is it great?
So actually, I'm not discriminating any kind of medical system. I respect them all as a doctor, but I would like to talk about the specialty of the Ayurveda, the uniqueness of the Ayurveda. Actually, Ayurveda take the people as the individuals, not as a generic group. So there is an individual approach to each and everyone according to Ayurveda, because each and everyone has their unique body type, unique body combination of Vata, Pitta, Kapha. So there is an individualized approach to each and everyone. That is one thing. And another thing is Ayurveda treats not only to the sign and symptoms of a disease, it treats to the root cause of the disease. And also that each and everything in Ayurveda, the concept of the Ayurveda, treatments in the Ayurveda and medicine and everything is 100% natural. So there's no side effects. So I think these are the uniqueness or the importance of the Ayurveda.
All right. So you said it's based. It's not generic. It's very specialized, unique to somebody's body composition. You spoke about the doshas earlier as well, and you also mentioned that it just doesn't treat the symptoms. It actually goes to the root, and addresses the root. And you also mentioned about it being 100% natural. Ashok ji, we just covered what is yoga in layman's term. What I want to know from you is, how does a normal person who leads a very busy, hectic day-to-day life, going to office, coming back, dealing with the family, office pressure, and various other things, leverage the goodness of yoga to live a life full of energy, peace, and harmony?
So, I mean, at times it's just to say something very short. It's like at times we know it all, but we don't have to be. We know it all, but sometimes we just forget it. That's all. Sometimes we just need a tiny reminder to how to go with the life. Honestly, that's what I sense. So when you said about goodness in yoga, or I don't want even you to use yoga in generally life. Sometimes we forget the goodness in life. At times we just forget the goodness in life. And if you take any human being after a day's work, take a blank sheet, piece of paper, and ask them to write how good was your day in 10 points, and how bad was your day. Maybe the bad points might overflow the page, and the goodness might be in some tiny corner. So we might forget the goodness. Constantly, there is goodness around us all the time. And seeing through it is like a clear water, seeing through it. So that itself is yoga. So when you say goodness of life, how yoga brings in goodness, of course, we do need a good body. Otherwise, it's going to be quite a treacherous lifestyle. We do need a steady, sane mind. So we need all of that. But at the same time, we need to sustain our life. But how do we sustain is to go to work. But how do we bring in those two aspects of a good body and good mind into work? Because work, the minute when work becomes a burden, life becomes a burden. Office becomes burden, house becomes burden, relationships become burden, even practice becomes burden. Life just starts to drag. So looking into all of that is that goodness, like how do you start? Goodness in life, goodness in yourself. So sometimes if you ask, like for instance, it's just my experience and what happens in a yoga session here. It's like sometimes you ask like, how do you feel? Suddenly this like the first thing comes out of the head is like, I have a tight back, right? That's the first thing comes out. So I mean, it's just this is how mind works. Mind loves the thing called is the negative space. Mind just loves negative space, keeps it entertained. So seeing through that goodness is a prime task, and going through it, like having a good regular body practice, having a good steadiness of mind practice, having a bit of a breath practice, having a bit of a healthy lifestyle, bringing in everyone together, the community, the family, the society, the wholeness. I think that brings in a lot of wholesomeness in one's life. Work, home, society, putting it together. Yeah. But,
Yeah.
yeah.
Thank you for that response. It's a very interesting insight. You said we all know it and we need a reminder. That's like fantastic. And what you said was very interesting. You said, okay, end of the day, you just take a journal and write down what went well, good things happen, and what went wrong, bad things happen. You will end up writing a lot of bad things because you just forget to recognize what is happening good, because the mind is always finding negative.
Shrikant, can I just add on here, just to interrupt? I'm sorry. It's like you might have seen. I'm just still an old school person. We used to have ink pens in our pocket.
Yes.
And when the ink leaks, the straight on a white shirt or any shirt, there's a big blob of ink there. When you see a man, straight away your eye goes to that ink blob instead of that whiteness. Right. That's how it is, the bad and goodness. How I would say.
Fantastic. It's a fantastic metaphor. What you said is that there's a big piece of cloth which is like pure white, and then just one dot. I mean, so much white is there, but you just end up seeing only the black dot, right? Fantastic. I think I'm going to invite you towards the end, maybe take us through an experience where whatever that you said, we just get everything together and see whether we can give an experience to the viewers. Sure. Dr. Niluka, now that Ashokji has spoken about what somebody can do on a day-to-day basis to bring goodness in their lives. My question to you is, how can we incorporate Ayurveda for a more sustainable living for the current generation? And just, okay, you have to go get your panchakarma done and all that. That I understand. Other than that, if you want to lead a day-to-day sustainable life, what needs to happen?
Yes, actually, it's not a difficult thing. It's very simple thing because, as I told you before, Ayurveda is very simple, natural, yet highly effective and practicable. So we can add simply we can add some Ayurvedic health tips, Ayurvedic guidelines to our daily routine. For an example, we can wake up with the sunrise. That in Ayurveda, this time is calling as Brahma Muhurta. So in this time, environment is very calm and quiet, and fresh air is there. And then we can do some pranayama meditation, mindful breathing, even in our bed for 10 minutes at least. So then we can drink one glass of warm water as the first thing in the morning. So we can add some 1 teaspoon of ghee as well. So it lubricates the gastrointestinal tract, and it eliminates the fat soluble toxins from the body. And we all are brushing our teeth in the morning now. So, but don't forget to scrape your tongue as well, using tongue scraper very gently. Scrape your tongue, because the tongue is the road map of your digestion. Actually, it's very beneficial for the digestion and also for oral hygiene as well. And daily nature walks, doing yoga, and better if you can doing a self massage daily using Ayurvedic herbal oils, according to your constitution and according to the season. And in our day-to-day life, maintain the digestion is also very beneficial to being sustainable. According to your constitution, according to the season, according to the time of the day, we have to select the meals. I rather giving you clear guidelines for this as well. And most importantly, detoxification is a must. It is very beneficial if you can do a detoxification treatment, at least better to do detoxification once in a 3 months. If you can, it is very beneficial. And these are there are a lot of things, but I think time is not enough to tell everything. So finally, I will tell like this. These are little changes in your daily routine, but these things can make a big difference in your life. So you will be able to find the best version of you by following the Ayurvedic lifestyle. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Niluka. You had little time. However, you said so many things. I'm just going to summarize. You said wake up with the sunrise, Brahma Muhurta, do pranayama meditation for 10 minutes, have one glass of warm water, 1 teaspoon of ghee just to kind of um, what should I say, oleate your internal system, scrape your tongue, because you said that is the roadmap for the digestion. Daily walk, yoga, self massage, detox once in 3 months. Fantastic. Fantastic. Salia has been quiet for a long time and we are running short of time. I'm just going to ask one question to Salia, and then I'm going to go to Ashokji for a demonstration of pranayama or something like that. So Salia, I want to ask you a final question. Since we have already spoken about Santani's approach to human sustainability, can you please let us know your initiatives for the sustainability of the environment and the community? So human sustainability you spoke. Let's speak about environment and the community.
Okay, Srikanth, it's a very good question, because giving back to the society and enhancing the environment is embedded in our philosophy. So in terms of the eco-friendliness, as you said before, we have 20 rooms which are built on stilt. So it does a minimum, it touches the ground by 6 points and there's a minimal damage to the environment. And also all our buildings are designed in a way that ample of fresh air comes in, and therefore we don't use air conditioning. That will save about approximately 65 to 70% of energy compared to a standard hotel. So apart from that, the timber that we have used to build the hotel, as well as certain furnitures that we are using at the hotel are made out of reused timber, reclaimed wood. So therefore, we have not cut down trees to build the resort. And then we have planted approximately, I would say, more than 800 indigenous trees in our premises, which is 120 acres. And then we have our own greenhouse to produce most of the herbs and vegetables that is used to prepare meals for our guests. So in terms of enhancing the community or giving back to the community, you may have already heard about this organization called Amelie and Daniel Lindsay Foundation. It was formed last year after the unfortunate Easter attack to enhance the lives of the rural community in Sri Lanka. So their focus is education, then counseling, housing, trauma response training, trauma medical equipment, so on. And Santani, we have pledged to give 1% of our operational revenue to fund that organization to uplift the lives of the community, rural community in Sri Lanka. In the immediate area of where Santani is located, we have done few projects. One is like conducting English classes for school leavers, which we completed about a year back, and we are getting ready for the second batch. And then last December, we distributed, stationery, school bags, and water bottles for the primary school, which is located closer to Santani. And some of our guests also contributed towards that project. And then there's another high school here and a secondary school. And we trained some of their students who left the school after their exams. And we gave them proper training in our kitchen department. And we recruited one of the members who has successfully completed the program. And we have created many job opportunities for the people from the village. And we have given the opportunity for local vendors, farmers to bring their stuff and providing those to Santani. And we helped, continuously help the religious centers in the surrounding area, which help the villagers to, improve their spiritual and mental well-being. And also about 80 acres of the property, as I said, it's 120 acres. 80 acres is, it's a tea plantation. So there also we have created many jobs for the local community.
Wow, fantastic. Wow, I'm very impressed. Minimum damage to the environment, you spoke about ample of fresh air, about you are able to save 65% to 70% compared to the standard hotels which have air conditioners, reused timber, 800 indigenous trees across 120 acres, greenhouse to produce your own vegetables and herbs. You spoke about the foundation and contributing 1% of operational revenue, English classes for the school children, stationery, and also trained people from the secondary school, and some of you also creating job opportunities, providing opportunities to the local vendors, and 80 acres of tea plantation you have provided ample opportunity. Fantastic. Very, very good. So we have like 6 minutes. I'm going to ask Sarada, I'm going to request Ashokji. Ashokji, before we wrap up, can you please demonstrate a breathing technique or a guided meditation so that we can adopt it as a daily ritual for better living?
Right. What about something like breath and meditation together?
Oh, yeah,
Would be the best.
sure.
Would be quite
I'm
ideal.
good for anything.
Yeah. Would be nice because
I'm all set.
All right. All right. So what I suggest is to in the daily life, what really happens is the body and breath goes well all the time together. It's not like two different parts. So that's why I thought like breath and body going together. So ideally, I would say now that we have only 5 minutes, just make yourself comfortable. Just make yourself comfortable. Even mine is nodding of the head or responding to what I'm saying. Maybe only hearing within. Sometimes not even hearing through the ears. Just being there. There might be tightness because we were part of the conversation. We were talking. We were doing something over the last 40 to 50 minutes or so. So the breath, there might be a rhythm of breath right now. Let it be. Just breathing with it and breathing out with it. It'll take some time. It won't be like a switch on, light on, and light off. It will take a while. A while might be 20 breaths, 15 breaths, or 30 breaths. Let it be. Just breathing through it and breathing out. Breathing in, and you just do breathe out. Try not breathe in a very different way. Let it be the normal way, the regular breathing. As you inhale, your breath is going through your nostrils and through your throat and through your lungs and chest and through the stomach and maybe sensation in your stomach, in your belly, abdomen. And when you breathe out, there's a sensation in your abdomen, stomach, lungs, chest, your collarbone, shoulders, through your throat, and through your nostrils. Breathing in and just breathing out. Mindfulness of breathing. Mindfulness doesn't have to be full of mind. It could be just knowing, I know I am breathing in. I know I am breathing out. Awareness, mindfulness is all about knowing. I know there is an in-breath. I know there is an out-breath. I know I'm breathing in. I know I'm breathing out. I am in the midst of a talk show or a talk program. This is all happening at the same time. You're not switching off. You're quite on with life. You are at a certain place, sitting through the web's conversation. At the same time, the body is breathing in. At the same time, body is breathing out. There's a certain sort of emotions in your mind space, body space, and breath space. And being with it without trying to shut down with it. When discomfort comes in, the first human approach is to turn away and run away. Being with it, giving time for it with your breath. As you breathe in through your nostrils, throat, chest, stomach, abdomen, and as you breathe out through your arms. There is a release happening through your fingertips. As you breathe in, as you breathe out, through your arms, through your fingertips, spaciousness. Breathing in through the trunk of the body, and breathing out through your limbs, legs, arms, fingers, toes, spine. As you breathe in, as you breathe out, just resting right here. This practice could be done in the park, in your bus, in your office, in the kitchen, in the bedroom, while you're walking, while you're half asleep, while you're doing gardening, while you're doing your day-to-day life. Yoga, meditation are not two different things. It's just one in your breath, in your life, being here. Thoughts come in, thoughts pass, breath come in, breath pass. Breathing out through your limbs, breathing in through your continuing this practice through the whole day, through the whole week, through the whole month, through your whole life. And exploring life, staying open to life the way it comes. May there be peace, may there be joy, may there be love and happiness. Thank you very much for joining the short session.
Fantastic, Ashokji. You made it so simple. So you said, okay, you just focus on your breath regardless of what you're doing, while walking, while cooking, while gardening, while working. Yeah, just make sure that you're breathing the normal way and be aware of your breathing in, out, breathing in and breathing out. Normally, like it happens automatically. So you're telling, okay, be present, just focus on the breath. Fantastic. So we have come to the end of the session. Thank you so much, Salia, Dr. Niluka, and Ashokji for being our guest for today. And I learned a lot, and I'm sure the viewers must have learned a lot as well. And I also look forward, maybe sometime after a couple of months, that we will get to host you once again, on a different topics. Thank you very much. Aibowan, namaste. And for all the viewers, next Saturday, that is the 29th of August at exactly 5 p.m., we have a topic, management and prevention of arthritis through Ayurveda. So I look forward to see all of you in that webinar. Until then, goodbye and have a wonderful weekend. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much.